everybody, and welcome to a special episode of Teddy Talks and Chasing Trail. Today's not about jokes, race recaps, or weird runner diets. It's about something bigger. It's about land, access, power, and what happens when the government decides who belongs in the mountains. We're diving into the federal case of United States vs. Michelino Sunseri, a world-class trail runner charged for using a historic trail on the Grand Teton, a line climbers and runners have used for nearly a century. Now, some folks say he took a shortcut, others say he disrespected the land, but when you dig into the details, the story gets a lot murkier and a lot more political. So let me tell you a story about a mountain, a sharp, sacred peak called the Grand Teton, and the people who have climbed it, fought over it, and in some cases been crushed under the weight of what it represents. This isn't just about a trail or a runner or a court case. This is about legacy, power, and who gets to decide how wild places are used and by whom. Let's go back, way back. In 1872, Nathaniel Langford and James Stevenson claimed they had summited the Grand. But their claim was sketchy, unverified, lacking detail, and doubted even by their peers. Still, it stood, until William Owen came along in 1898. Owen, along with a crew of 3, including the immensely capable Franklin Spaulding, reached the summit. But while Spaulding led the technical climbing, Owen walked away with the credit. Why? Because he controlled the narrative. He had the pen, the title, and the power. Ego, reputation, gatekeeping. Sound familiar? Fast forward over 100 years, and the Grand is still a battleground. Not just for summits, but for image, control, in political theater, it seems. Take Ryan Burke, a local climber who once completed 3 full ascents of the Grand in a single day. An incredible feat, no doubt. But here's the thing, there's no GPX file, no time-stamped record, no documented route from start to finish, and that's not a dig, that's just how it often goes in mountain sports. Trust, storytelling, and reputation carry the weight when official documentation doesn't exist. And that was enough. The community celebrated him. There was no citations, no inquiries into which trail segments he used, no federal interest in how closely he followed a line that doesn't even officially exist on a government-issued map. And yet Michelino Sunseri did the same thing, using a visible, historic route to pursue a record. The Park Service came down on him with the full weight of federal prosecution. Still, when Michelino broke the FKT on the Grand, Burke became one of the loudest critics. He wrote an op-ed titled, "Ethical Mountaineers Take Responsibility, Not Shortcuts," accusing Michelino of reckless behavior in claiming falsely that rocks were dislodged onto trail workers below. Let's stop there. There were no injuries, no workers came forward, no evidence, no testimony, just a rumor, a myth, a narrative. Passed off as fact. So let's talk about that trail. The Old Climbers Trail isn't some rogue line stomped through the tundra last year. It's a direct, efficient line used by generations of climbers, including Glenn Exum, Paul Petzold, the early Exum guides. It's still visible today, still walkable, and until very recently, still widely used. The only closure on that route, a sign that says, "Shortcutting causes erosion." That's not enforcement, that's interpretation. There is no official notice, no updated map, no bulletin, nothing in the park record marking this trail as closed. And yet Michelino was prosecuted under 36 CFR 2.1b, shortcutting between trail segments. Let's be clear. In the same park where vague signage stands in for legal language, where hikers, climbers, and runners use this trail consistently, a world-class athlete was federally charged for using a historic path. A path that helped shape the very identity of American mountaineering. He offered to help with trail restoration. They rejected it. He asked for a chance at resolution. They pushed for punishment. They pushed for prosecution. That is not preservation. That is a message. So let's zoom out. Across the country, trails are being closed without public process. In Zion, Angel's Landing now requires a permit lottery. In Yosemite, entry backcountry zones closed without any public notification. Zones closed. No notification. In the Sierra, trailheads are blocked temporarily for rehabilitation, but stay closed for years. Even trail crews and volunteers are often denied access due to liability fears. Meanwhile, federal rules are stacking up. There are over 3,600 regulations that govern national park use, and most visitors don't even know where to find them. You could break 5 rules in a single backcountry day and never even know it. Ignorance of the law is no excuse, as they say, but maybe it should be, because when rules are this opaque, this contradictory, and this selectively enforced, they're not protecting the land, they're protecting bureaucracy. And here's the part that hurts the most. Athletes are turning on each other. Instead of standing up, we stay quiet. Instead of asking questions, we pass judgment. Instead of advocating for better systems, we write hit pieces and spread rumors. The mountain community is eating itself. We should be united in this, not just to protect Michelino, but to protect anyone who moves freely and respectfully through wild places. Because this case isn't unique, it's a preview. When localism, pride, and park politics take the wheel, it's only a matter of time before the next person gets targeted. And it might not be a record-holding runner. It could be some teenage climber, a weekend backpacker, or someone who just took a wrong turn. This is the moment where we decide if we're going to keep tearing each other down or build something better. Let's imagine something different. Instead of citing runners for trail use, let's invite them to join restoration efforts. Instead of locking gates, let's equip volunteers. Instead of weaponizing vague signs, let's communicate clearly, consistently, and publicly. You want erosion control? Give runners the tools to help build switchbacks. You want preservation? Partner with people who care enough to show up. Rain, shine, or storm, they will show up. Let's stop pretending the public is the problem, because the public is the solution. And while we're at it, let's remember who the land is for. Because if public land is truly public, then it should be governed transparently, managed collaboratively, and accessed freely, not fenced off by red tape, weaponized legal codes. Michelino didn't take a shortcut. He took the same line that built the Tetons, the one that generations walked before him. From the first Exum guides to locals who still hike it today. And like Franklin Spaulding in 1898, he carried the weight, but someone else tried to rewrite the story. This time, let's not let them. Let's write our own. Let's take the long way, but together. This has been Teddy Tonelli with Teddy Talks and Chasing Trail. Teddy, out.